Could you imagine a nuclear power plant helping to power Singapore's bustling cityscape? This isn't science fiction, but a serious question the nation is exploring to secure its clean energy future. The journey into nuclear energy is a complex tale of high-tech innovation, national ambition, and cautious calculation. For decades, the idea was off the table. A 2012 study concluded that the nuclear technologies of the time were unsuitable for Singapore. But the game has changed. The government now believes that advanced technologies, particularly small modular reactors or SMRs, are making this energy source safer. In his Budget 2025 speech, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong announced that Singapore will formally study the potential deployment of nuclear power and take steps to build capabilities in this area. So, why is Singapore, with its limited land area, even considering this path? It comes down to a national imperative. Over 95% of Singapore's electricity currently comes from imported natural gas, which also contributes to 40% of the country's total emissions. With future industries like AI and semiconductors being massively energy-intensive, Singapore needs more clean power to grow while meeting its net zero by 2050 climate goal. The options are limited. There's no space for large-scale hydro, wind, or enough solar power to meet all its needs. A 2022 report suggested that emerging technologies, including nuclear, could potentially supply around 10% of Singapore's energy needs by 2050. The focus is firmly on a new generation of safer nuclear technology. The old image of massive, sprawling nuclear plants is being replaced by SMRs. These are compact, can be factory assembled, and are designed with enhanced safety features that can greatly reduce the likelihood and impact of accidents. Vendors of SMRs claim their designs may require an emergency planning zone of only a few hundred meters, a stark contrast to the tens of kilometers needed for conventional reactors, making them a more plausible fit for a dense city-state. Singapore is not rushing in. The approach is systematic and deliberate. The Energy Market Authority, EMA, has appointed UK-based firm Mott MacDonald to conduct a detailed safety and feasibility study on advanced nuclear technologies, a process that will take up to 2 years. The government has also restructured itself, creating dedicated nuclear teams at the EMA, acting as a promoter to assess feasibility, and the National Environment Agency, NEA, acting as a regulator to ensure safety, security, and safeguards. To build a core of local expertise, the Singapore Nuclear Research and Safety Institute, SNRSI, was launched with the goal of training 100 nuclear experts by 2030. Internationally, Singapore is learning from the best, signing nuclear cooperation agreements with the United States, France, Sweden, and the United Arab Emirates. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, Rafael Mariano Grossi, has even stated that Singapore, with its technological base and institutional maturity, could be the most perfect example of a country that needs nuclear energy and is ideally prepared to host it relatively soon. He suggested one potential scenario could even involve regional cooperation with a neighboring ASEAN country. The balance sheet, weighing the long-term future. So, will this be beneficial for Singapore in the long run? The answer is a conditional one, balancing profound benefits against real and present challenges. The potential benefits are compelling: energy security and decarbonization. Nuclear power offers a stable, reliable, and clean source of electricity. This could significantly reduce Singapore's heavy dependence on imported natural gas and serve as a major tool for decarbonization, directly supporting its net zero 2050 goal. Economic competitiveness. Providing a large-scale, low-carbon power source could be crucial for attracting and sustaining the energy-intensive industries of the future that PM Wong mentioned, from AI to biopharmaceuticals. The significant hurdles cannot be overlooked. Safety and public trust. This remains the paramount concern. The memory of past nuclear accidents like Chernobyl and Fukushima shapes public perception. For a densely populated country, any incident, however unlikely, could have severe consequences. Building public understanding and trust is cited by experts as a critical challenge. Waste and environmental impact. The long-term management of radioactive nuclear waste is a complex issue. While the volume of waste is small compared to other industrial wastes, finding a safe and socially acceptable long-term storage solution within Singapore's limited land is a challenge. There are also concerns about thermal pollution from plant cooling systems affecting marine life in surrounding waters. Geopolitical and supply chain risks. Adopting nuclear power would mean entering a complex global supply chain. Singapore would need to navigate the geopolitics of uranium supply, which is concentrated in a few countries, some with unstable governments. In conclusion, Singapore is not building a nuclear plant tomorrow. The nation is methodically preparing, building knowledge, and waiting for technology to mature. The long-term benefit hinges on a single critical condition: demonstrating that it can be deployed with absolute, verifiable, and publicly trusted safety. If the ongoing studies can prove that, nuclear energy could become a crucial part of Singapore's recipe for a secure and sustainable future. If they can't, the nation has at least built the expertise to navigate a region where its neighbors are increasingly turning to nuclear power. This is the story of a small nation making a very big and calculated bet on its energy independence. What are your thoughts on Singapore's potential nuclear path? Let's have a constructive conversation in the comments below.